I mean, the main reason that I'm keeping my beard right now, I have a lot of reasons. There's many, many reasons. So many different people exist out there. I'm supportive to a lot of people. But women can have beards, and they should be able to do what they want.
No, women cannot naturally have a full-size beard. Some women go on testosterone and get a full-size beard, and then you'll find some other women who deal with PCOS.
I've been growing my beard for 2 months. I have a condition called hirsutism. This is caused by PCOS or polycystic ovarian syndrome.
Trans women who decide to keep their beards have beards because they're men. If you want to live as a woman in society, why do you keep your beard? If it's so important to you that people call you she and her, and you think it's society's fault that we all think that only men can have beards, why don't you just shave it off? Why don't you just shave it off? Maybe it's because you want to change societal norms? Well, good luck with that. I want to clarify something. Just because you shave it all off doesn't make you a woman. Even if you did have the perfect trimmer and the perfect grooming routine, you would still be a man. And speaking of that, if you want to perfect your grooming routine, you should definitely get the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra from Manscaped. The Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra gives you more grooming flexibility with Manscaped's next-gen dual skin-safe blade heads. The trimmer blade has long, wide, and rounded teeth that cut through hair with ease and will minimize any pulling or tucking. The LED guiding lights has 2 temperature settings designed to better illuminate and flatter multiple skin tones. After using the trimmer, you can easily change to the foil blade. The foil blade glides gently over your skin, capturing the finest hairs, leaving you with a super smooth razor finish. It was so satisfying the first time I used it, I can't stop touching my face. If you're like me, nervous using a trimmer so close to water, don't you worry, because the Lawnmower 5.0 is waterproof. I know I don't have balls, but due to testosterone and my Middle Eastern genetics, I still have to look presentable on and off camera. Thanks to Manscaped, I now have a easy but also a luxurious grooming routine. Head over to manscaped.com and get your hands on the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra today. Get 20% off plus free shipping by using my code MarcusDeep at manscaped.com/MarcusDeep. Thank you so much, Manscaped, for sponsoring this video. Now back to the video.
Hi, thanks for asking. So, as a trans woman, why do I keep my beard? There's a couple of reasons, but the most important one to me is this. I sit at a weird spot of intersection within the trans community. Being gender fluid, I have both men's and women's experiences.
The reason why you think that you're in a weird spot within the trans community is because you don't belong there. You cannot identify as gender fluid while identifying as trans at the same time. The definition of what it means to be trans is literally the opposite of what it means to be or think that you are gender fluid. If it's possible to be trans and gender fluid at the same time, why do trans people transition? The transition is literally permanent and irreversible. So why go through all of that if your gender is fluid, keeps changing, whatever? And listen, buddy, you do not have women's experiences. You don't know what it's like, in any way.
I pass as both a man and a woman in the world at different times.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You pass as a man because that is what you are. Again, a man shaving off his beard doesn't make him a woman.
And being visibly trans feels very right to me. I'm on HRT and my body is feminizing, and when I'm a woman with a beard, and when I'm a man with breasts, and I am visibly broadcastingly trans.
You're right about one thing, and that is you desperately want to be perceived as trans in society. It's obvious to us all that you're so desperate, but it doesn't make you trans. Who gave this man estrogen? Whoever did it should be ashamed of themselves. Doctors are supposed to help their patients. If you go to the system and ask for help, and especially if you struggle a lot with your mental health, you're supposed to get the right type of treatment. Mistakes always happen, but you have the right as a citizen to not be wrongfully treated by the system. And you're being wrongfully treated if your doctor is an ideologue, believes in trans activism and trans ideology, and the doctor's not willing to make a thorough examination, figuring out what's really going on with this patient, all due to an ideology that's not based in science, facts, or biology, they're not supposed to work for the system. This man is clearly ridiculous. This man is also talking to children, which is harmful, but no matter what, he has the right as a citizen to get his mental health checked, to be treated by the system as an individual first and not as a trans person. And he has the right not to get his mental health issues fixed with estrogen when it obviously is not the right type of treatment. Estrogen won't solve whatever he's dealing with. There's no such thing as a bearded lady, and shame on you. That is what trans women have been called, the real ones, for many, many years. But what a surprise! Most trans activists are transphobic. Who would have thought? My hair is so curly today, don't even comment on it.
It's my goal in doing so to make room for people who will never pass. Passing is such a toxic idea in the first place, as if the opposite of passing is failing, and as if our passing or failing is in the hands of the transphobes trying to sniff us out.
Okay, so you're a man trying to change the definition of what it means to be trans by claiming that trans women are just men in dresses. If you don't understand how important it is for transsexuals to pass as the opposite sex in society, do I need to say more than this? I think you all know what I'm about to say. You have no idea what it's like to deal with gender dysphoria, so why are you trying to change what it means to be trans? What you're doing right now is like, you're a person without clinical depression. You do not know what it's like in any way. You've never been truly depressed before, and you're generally really happy with your life. But then you're changing the entire list of symptoms of clinical depression. You're changing the definition of clinical depression just in order to include people like you who are not depressed. Make it make sense. On top of that, you're also shaming the people who truly deal with clinical depression just because you can't relate to the symptoms. Real transsexual people who don't pass as much as they want to don't feel like they're failing. I don't even know what that means. Do you know what they do feel? Dysphoric. It's almost like it's a mental disorder that is the mechanism that makes people want to live their lives as the opposite sex. And when they're not, in some ways, doing it right, they feel extremely uncomfortable, something that they cannot control. That is the point of dealing with a mental disorder. Do you want to hear a secret? Trans people would still exist even if they are isolated. Even if they're locked up in a basement, they would still feel gender dysphoric. They would still feel unbearable pain about how they look and sound. They don't need other people to make them uncomfortable, because the individual feel uncomfortable with their body, their voice, and so on, due to the gender dysphoria. It's not really transphobes who dictate how transsexuals live their lives and how they look and sound. How ironic. You're the transphobe who want to change fundamentally society in ways that are truly toxic for transsexual individuals.
Yesterday, this well-meaning older gentleman asked me if I was depressed because I've been growing out my beard lately. I was like, no, I'm growing out my beard because I love myself and because I'm confident in my body. I did this little curtsy and he laughed and the whole room was smiling at me. It was a beautiful moment. And it was then I realized I'm finally stepping into my own power, enough to be vulnerable with the world. So I just want to encourage you today, there's no right way to be a woman, okay? Let's just go ahead and break that binary. Some women have facial hair. Some women shave their armpits. Some don't. Some men have vaginas. Some women have penises. Get over it. So I challenge you today to love and express yourself recklessly. You're one of a kind, doll.
And these types of people call me a pygmy. But this is a man thinking that he's unique because he wears a dress. Who's the pygmy now? I think it's extremely insensitive to use women with PCOS or other conditions that make these women have beards or increased facial hair. Women with PCOS are still women. Like, these women didn't consent, and I know it sounds ridiculous, but these women didn't consent to being used in trans activism because they don't make the correlation themselves. Just because they're biological females with a certain condition that makes them have, like, maybe like this, right? Like a little bit of facial hair doesn't make them any less women. But men who put on red dresses are still men, and they're not even trans women. So of course, these people are also insensitive towards transsexual women, but I just feel so sorry for these women who cannot help dealing with their conditions. I know that it sounds weird, but these men know that they're men. They're fully aware, but they're trying to lie to you. But it's not gonna work because we all have eyes and ears, and we know what reality is. Thank you all for watching this video. If you want to see more content like this, remember to hit subscribe and the notification bell. If you want to support my work, my PayPal is in the description down below, but no pressure whatsoever, because I'm already super grateful for all of you. Remember, you can become a member of this channel. We have so much fun, so come join us. Follow me on Twitter and Rumble, and I'll see you all in my next video. Peace out.